We come from the tribes, descendants of Yah. We look like Messiah, water and fire. Destined to rest with the breath of the Most High. Please do not try us, cause we be protecting what's ours with no problems. Keep the commandments and we guard them. This is the expansion, we move forward. We come from the Most High, don't know where they come from. Nah. I heard some theories, but I will not quote them. This ain't exposure. This is promoting the fruit from the tree and the roots and the planter who grew them. If this is too deep in my sympathy, sorry to lose you. This ain't confusing. All right, we are back. I had to restart it because we were having some troubles with the audio. Hopefully everything is good to go this time. I'm just going to double check to make sure before I even start. All right, and it sounds good. All right, so tonight, shalom, mishpachah, or peace to the family, all of those who are chasing righteousness and trying to be found in the book of life come judgment day, which we know is quickly approaching. Tonight we are going to be talking about the hidden witchcraft. Now we know that we are currently in Babylon, and we know that there is many ways and many methods that they use to try to oppress us. And one of the ways that they try to manipulate us is through witchcraft. Some of the witchcraft we know about, such as, music and TV, which we'll touch on that tonight. And then some forms of witchcraft, we kind of don't think of it as witchcraft. And so we're going to talk about those things tonight. So before we actually start exposing some of the tricks, I want to share with you all the word witchcraft in Ivrit or Hebrew, and that is going to be kashaf, which is the word that's usually translated to sorcery or witchcraft. So witchcraft and sorcery are one and the same. If you are a studier and you use Strong's Concordance, this is going to be Strong's number 3784, as you see on the screen. And we know that the book of Exodus tells us that we shall not suffer a witch to live, that they should be killed. Now that's a strong judgment. We also know that it says that those who do sorcery will not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So we know that witchcraft is a serious offense. Now, when we look at this word kashaf in the Paleo Hebrew or Ivrit, we will see that it's spelled going from right to left with a kaf, a shin, and a pay. Again, that is right to left. It's not going to be read from left to right, as one would see in English. So underneath the modern Hebrew, you see the Paleo or pictographic Hebrew. And the kaf is depicted as two hands open. And after that, you have a teeth. And then the last letter, the pay, it basically is a mouth. And so the pay means, it can mean mouth, or it can mean open, blow, or scatter. The teeth can mean teeth, or it can mean destroy. It can mean sharp, press, or eat. And this open palm, it can mean bend, open, allow, or tame. So you actually look at this word used for sorcery or witchcraft, kashaf. In the Paleo Hebrew, it would have the literal meaning to allow destruction from the mouth, right? And so a lot of times when we look at these words in the pictographic Hebrew or Ivrit, we can see a deeper meaning, as opposed to just looking at it in English or even modern Hebrew doesn't necessarily tell the story. So each Hebrew letter also has a number associated with it. For the Kaf, it's going to be the number 20. For the Shin, it's going to be the number 300. And for the Pei, it's going to be the number 80. And so when we add those up, we get the number 400. Now, anybody familiar with the scriptures know that anytime we see 40 or a form of it, it's either a test or judgment. So examples of this is going to be the 40 days and 40 night flood, when the Most High is judging the earth. We see the when Israel leaves Egypt, they're in the wilderness for 40 years. We also see Moses on Mount Sinai for 40 days. We see Mashiach, 40 days. And then even Elijah, when he's running from Jezebel, I think it's 40 days. We know that we were allowed to be taken captive in this land that we are in, and that was for 400 years. So knowing that this number is symbolic of a test or a judgment, we know that we are now being required to purge out all sin and all evils, just as the ancient Israelites did when they left Egypt, because this is a type of Egypt, right? The United States is a type of Egypt. And so we have to let go of all the customs and traditions, but we also have to make sure that we are not participating in witchcraft. And so we have to be wise and just be hip to some of the tricks that the enemy might use. Before we talk about those, I want to also show you that in the Greek, the word used for witchcraft is the word pharmakia. Yes, this word is going to look familiar to you all because this is the word that we say pharmacy, right? It's like the use of medicine, drugs, or spells. Now, for those of you who like to do your own studying, this is going to be Strong's 5331, and you can see that on the screen. So this is the Greek word that is used for sorcery or witchcraft. So now our brains should be turning. We should be thinking about these things when we think about types of hidden witchcraft. I don't think it would be fair if I didn't show the definition in English, but when you look up witchcraft, you are going to get the practice of magic, especially for evil purposes, the use of spells. So they're giving you like a basic understanding. This is like the Disney version of witchcraft, where we see in the scriptures it's a little bit more detailed. I think we should also look at the definitions for spell because I find this to be very interesting. So on the right is what's most interesting to me because they often tell us their intentions through words and definitions. So obviously we have our Disney version, a spoken word or form of words held to have magic power or a state of enchantment, a strong compelling influence or attraction. We also have to put under a spell. We have a indeterminate period of time. We also have a stretch of a specified type of weather. Now we know that they are controlling the weather and they're manipulating the weather to be more specific. And so we have a period of bodily or mental distress, a period spent in a job or occupation, one's turn at work. So these are all spells. Spells are a form of witchcraft. We still not going to hop in it yet. I want you guys to see one more definition. But your brain should definitely be turning. The last definition that I have on the screen is that for potion. It says a potion is a liquid that contains medicine, poison, or something that is supposed to have magic powers. It derives from the Latin word potus, and that's not going to be president of the United States, or maybe it is, who knows, which refer to a drink or drinking. The term filter is also used often specifically for a love potion that is supposed to create feelings of love or attraction in the one who drinks it. Now, when we look at witchcraft, and we know about witches, we understand that witches cast spells. They use dark magic, enchantments, and things of that nature. And we know that they do this to manipulate an individual or the circumstance. Anytime that you have manipulation, you are operating in witchcraft. Why? Because the Most High gave us all free will to choose for ourselves what we would like to have our lives to be. You are not the Most High, so you cannot enforce your own will over someone's life. That is witchcraft. Now, what I find interesting is that we have here on the right-hand side spell, and it says one's turn at work, a period spent in a job or occupation. Now, jobs are a form of witchcraft. Now, I know people are going to say, Reese, you're losing it. I'm not losing it, because they've created this system where you're so caught up in the rat race. They have made it and manipulated it to be that you cannot live a free life without having money for, your daily necessities, whether that be food, water, shelter. You have to work in order to have those things. And they make the system set up in a way where you can never really free yourself from the job or the work that you may have until you are old, till your life is almost over. So you mean to tell me that people are working until they're 65, 70? Some people, I know people personally who are still working and worried about money at 71 plus years old. So you're going to spend your whole life working and being manipulated to participate in a system, a capitalistic system, because you need food, which the Most High supplies for free, and water, which comes out of the earth for free, and shelter. That sounds crazy to me. That sounds like manipulation. And I know people are going to be like, okay, well, we need those things, and we have to kind of participate in the matrix in order to survive. And I understand that. What I want you to know is to be aware that this is what you're participating in. So if you could find a way to be able to survive with your own business, not dependent on their system, their manipulative system, that might be, or that will be, the better option. Not only that, because everybody is not entrepreneurs, and I understand that, but even if you could work for somebody who's in the know of the system and the manipulation, that way you could have your freedom. They would be more likely to work with you and things of that nature. But I mean, the goal would be to free yourself from the system completely. Let me change my screen, because we are going to talk about some other things. We come from the tribes, descendants of Yah. We look like Messiah, water and fire. Destined to rest with the breath of the Most High. All right. So first off, I had to figure out how to work this streaming software, because I'm not fluent in it right now, and you could definitely tell. Um, but I wanted to touch on another definition that came up under spell, and that was the period of distress, mental distress. It's crazy because one of the hidden types of witchcraft that we often see is in the food and in the drinks. And this drink right here, my little prompt, it has red 40 in it, and red 40 is known to cause mental distress, ADHD, and all types of things. Red 40 is also banned in other countries, but here in the US, we we just allow people to consume it freely. Um, we saw that for potion, it said, medicine, chemicals. This is a potion. Anything with the chemical. This is red 40. It has some other stuff that I can't even pronounce in it. Natural flavors. We don't really know what natural flavors are or where they come from, right? It could literally not even be kosher. Speaking of which, I'm gonna look and see if there is a kosher label on this, because we're gonna talk about that later. And there is not a kosher label on this. But yeah, this is a potion. And I know a lot of people are going to say that I'm being extreme, but the way is straight and narrow. You have to be able to judge things quickly. So it's either good or it's evil. This is going to be evil because it has chemicals in it. The Most High does not want us to be consuming chemicals. He didn't make that for us. It told us in the scriptures what he gave us for food. Chemicals are not food. Now, as we are on the topic of drinks, there's also a strong, or not strong, but a very long list of foods that we should be watching out for. Those foods are going to be foods that contain chemicals. Now, I know a lot of people, it's trendy right now to go plant-based or vegan, but you have to be careful even if you are vegan, because a lot of the fake meats, a lot of the what are they called? Um, like supplements, egg substitutes. They have chemicals in it, and so those would technically be potions, right? When we talk about stimulants and we talk about supplements, anything that is going to be an artificial mood enhancer, right? Those are potions. So it's a form of witchcraft. We also want to make sure that we are looking for the kosher label on any supplements that we take. Now, obviously, I'm in school to be a naturopathic doctor. We talk a lot about supplements, and I do think supplements serve a purpose in health for a specific period in time. But I've always said that you want to get to a point where you are solely relying and dependent off of food and herbs. Um, supplements have their purpose, just like emergency medicine has its purpose, right? I would never get up here and say, if I get into a car accident, take me to the herbalist. Please don't take me to the herbalist. Take me to the ER. Let them stabilize me. If I need some new body parts, let them, long as they don't come from no pig. We're not doing no pig hearts over here. I might as well just go to sleep with Moshe if that's gonna be the case. But let them do what they need to do. And then once I'm stable, then you can take me to the herbalist. We have to start thinking about the decisions that we make. We can't pray over pork, right? We can't pray over this stuff. It's no good. It's no good for us, and it's not food. It's witchcraft. And we are not supposed to partake in witchcraft. We bring evil upon ourselves when we participate in witchcraft. The next thing that I have on my list is the TV, and the music. Right? So a lot of us already know that this is a form of witchcraft. We know that TV is like broadcasting, they're casting spells continuously. Um, I would just say that we have to be wise when we are watching YouTube and we are watching different streaming services, because they constantly show ads. And like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. And we don't have control over the things that they show us. Akoti Ayana had showed me or sent me a screenshot of this quiz that they had on YouTube, um, that asked, "Are you gay?" quiz. And this is the type of witchcraft that they do to entice our children and pollute their minds. So we have to be vigilant, right? We have to be on top of this stuff. And we have to always be on the lookout, because Hasatan is very crafty and he's looking and seeking to see whom he can destroy. And we don't want to be destroyed by Hasatan. The next thing on my list is music. Obviously, we know that the music is trash. We know that they can basically manipulate. Again, I'm going to be using this word. So if you don't like the word manipulate, then you got to go. Because I'm going to be using this word manipulate, because anytime you're manipulating, you are operating in witchcraft. They like to manipulate our emotions and feelings through music. Gospel, right? Some of those people who write those songs are depressed. They have a certain emotion when they were writing that song, and once we listen to it, we operate in that same spirit. So we have to be careful of that. I'm not saying that all gospel is bad. There is some good songs out there, but we have to pray about everything that we take in through our ears, through our eyes, so that we're not deceived. The last thing I want is for the brothers and sisters to be struggling with depression and suicidal thoughts, right? Um, Also, too, I want to bring this up because I find more times than not in the people who make truth music, um, some of them like to curse, and I don't understand why. I don't know why you would want to speak a curse, right? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why people who would claim to be in the truth and the understanding of the Most High and who His chosen people are, would make music um, that would have profane language in it. It doesn't make sense to me. The next thing I want to talk about is smell goods. So that's going to be our perfumes and colognes. I have all the props today. Um, this is going to be similar to the drinks and the food. A lot of times they have a lot of chemicals in them. These chemicals have been known to be endocrine disruptors, which means they impact our our hormonal balance. So that could be pretty much your hormones control almost everything in your body, but the main thing is your reproductive system, right? So these perfumes or colognes that we're spraying on us could manipulate or influence our ability to have children. That's for male and female, right? So it's a form of witchcraft. So we have to be careful. Next time you go to buy some perfume or cologne, you should look up what's in it and how they influence your system. I personally don't only wear clean fragrances, and I'm trying to get to a point where I make my own fragrances out of essential oils, right? But while we're on fragrances, I want to talk about the intention that we have when we are wearing these fragrances. Now, if you are putting on a fragrance in order to seduce or manipulate the opposite sex, you, my friend, are operating in witchcraft. You are. It just is what it is. I'm sorry. The next thing that I want to talk about, and this is really, before I go there, let's just talk about clothes, right? clothes are or can be a form of witchcraft. Yes. When you think about some of the symbolism on these clothing items, when you think about some of the sublime prints that you might see, and you think about really the manufacturers who are manufacturing these items, what are they into, right? We all know about the Balenciaga scandal at this point. So we should always be looking to not purchase any items from, companies who participate in any unlawfulness, right? But also, again, this is going to go back to chemicals, right? We know that if we read the law, we could not mix certain fabrics. And we know that if we do a scientific research of synthetic fabrics, we know that they impact our overall health. Yes, if you're listening and you didn't know that wearing synthetic fabrics impact your health, then do some research. Because I'm not going to go into it really deeply, but I will say that it is best for us to wear 100% cottons, linens, wool, 100%. Your underwear, your socks, your coats, everything should be 100% whatever the natural material is. Because again, these chemicals influence our health. It manipulates our health, right? So it's a form of witchcraft. The Most High wants us to be completely detached from this place of bondage, because they have really just they have really manipulated the world, right? And if you read Revelation, you can read about that. They have manipulated the world with sorcery, and we shouldn't be a part of it. So that means that we are going to be, you know, drinking the things that we should be drinking, eating the things that we should be eating, wearing the things that we should be wearing, listening to the things that we should be listening to. This is like a complete renewal of life. This is the straight and narrow. And if people tell you, it's not that deep, it is that deep. It is. Because people are addicted to food because of the additives. Once you get food addictions, then you could easily slip into becoming obese. Then you can easily slip into bad health. You can easily die. It's a chain of events. I wish Akoti Ayana was on right now, because we was just talking about how you can easily just throw the trajectory of your life off by one decision. And we're always fighting, right? That's why we have to pray. That's why we have to meditate. That's why we have to pray for discernment, so that the Most High can give us these revelations about these things. And we have to teach our children. My son said, no, I'm not drinking this. Somebody gave this to him. He said no, he brought it home. So we have to make sure that we are doing what's right in the sight of the Most High. If anybody is going to tell you otherwise, then they are of Hasatan. And I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but there's no such thing as a good witch. The source is not correct. There's no such thing as a good witch. Am I saying that witches don't have power? Witches have power over whom they will have power. It's not me and my family, but witches do have power. That's the part that we don't tell our children. They do have power. It's not from the right source. We are not supposed to manipulate people. Ayana said, I'm in here. Shalom, shalom, Makoti. But Yes. So I digress. Um, I had on my list. This is going to be the last thing before we end the live today. And this one is definitely going to be this is going to be this is going to rub some people the wrong way, and I don't care. Because I'm just going to speak the truth. Hidden witchcraft. If you guys know what I'm about to say, type it in the chat. We're going to see who, if anybody can say it before I say it. And while I'm giving y'all some time to type in the chat, um, this is only part one. We're gonna have a part two. Because I feel like this is something that we should really be talking about. And to be honest, if you have children, I think that you should let your children um, listen so that they would be hip to the many tricks of Hasatan. Give it away, Akoti, give it away. um, but yeah, so we definitely have to make sure that we having these conversations with our children. We are being transparent with them. We don't want to shelter them from anything, because when they get out in the world, it's going to be new. It's going to be something that they didn't know, and that's how you get pulled into foolishness. You have to teach your children about these things and have open conversations, because when you are not with them, they have to know to do what's right in the sight of the Most High. Right? All praises to the Most High. And we are actually commanded to train up our children in the way that they should go. So we have to tell them the truth. We have to. It's really not optional. And as long as we are here in Babylon, we have to teach our children how this system operates. You know, when my son is watching cartoons or different shows, he will sometimes cover his eyes or close his ears if something makes him feel uncomfortable. If they're chanting something and he doesn't want to hear it, or if something comes up. I know there was a show the other day. They were doing like a hypnosis or something, and he covered his eyes and his ears and was like, "Nah, yeah, I'm good." And I didn't have to tell him to do that. He just did it. So we definitely have to make sure that we are staying up on it, and we're being proactive in the situation, right? So Koti she doesn't want to give it away. So I'm just gonna hop into it. The last thing that we are gonna talk about tonight, hidden witchcraft, is, drum roll please. Religion. Religion. Yes. Now, religion is a form of manipulation. Manipulation. It is. If you ask me what religion am I am going to tell you I am nothing. And that's the truth. I'm nothing. I am a Hebrew Israelite by blood. That is my bloodline. But I am nothing. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they weren't any religions, right? They weren't any religions. Akoti is in the chat with all the emojis. um, they weren't. They just listened to the Most High. They followed the Most High's word, and that was it. We get so caught up in the religion. Let me tell you, for those of you who don't know, I went to school. I have a bachelor's degree in religion. It's literally the study of what men created, right? So when you think about religions, you think about Judaism, you think about Hebrew Israelite, you think about Christianity, you think about Islam, you think about Buddhism, which I would really argue that to be more of a way of life, but for the sake of arguing, you think about Buddhism, you think about Hinduism, you think about these things. And all of these things are a form of manipulation because people get so caught up in what the religion says that they can't focus on the Most High. And that religion has manipulated you and your brain so much so that you can't hear the Most High if you wanted to. Prime example, people get caught up in church on Sunday that when you try to tell them that Sunday is not the Sabbath, they don't even want to hear it because they've been raised in church on Sunday. Right? That's a religious mindset. And let me tell you, everybody that's religious, I'm not going to say everybody, but there are people who are religious and don't have relationship. The Most High is calling us to relationship. You can't be so narrow-minded that you lose sight of the Most High. There are going to be a lot of people who check the boxes. I'm this. Oh, I'm a Christian. And they're not going to make it into the kingdom of the Most High. And I know some Hebrew Israelites are going to listen to this. They'll be the first person to say, yeah, the Christians is this and the Christians is that. But y'all sometimes stand on the corner and spew hate out of your mouth. So what makes you any different? It's witchcraft. You're going to sit up there and come in a spirit, an argumentative spirit, and debating instead of living a set apart life. I don't know if that's the spirit of the Most High. Also, a lot of brothers out here, and this is not just in the Hebrew Israelite community, this is also in the Christian community and Islam as well. A lot of y'all like to manipulate sisters with the text, the scriptures, the surahs. You're not living right. Manipulation is witchcraft. Ayana said, no flexibility. They're held captive. The Most High needs you to be on demand. Absolutely. The Most High needs us to be on demand. That means when He says go, we go. When He says stop, we stop. When He says pray, I need to give you a revelation, you're open to it. People want to sit up here and they want to debate trivial things. They want to sit up here and the Most High don't hear you because you're not using this specific name. Guess what? The Most High knows my heart. And I'm going to tell you one thing. When I was calling the Most High God, He heard me. And I'm going to tell you another thing. If somebody's calling Him something else and their heart is right and they want truth, He's going to hear them. He's going to remove the scales from their eyes so that they can see. It's not on us to judge people's heart because we don't know it. We can't see it. And I think the biggest hidden witchcraft out of everything that I said is religion. Because they have sown that on the hearts of people. You can change your diet, but you're still associated in the spiritual realm with religion. You're stuck. Why is it the biggest bondage? Because that bondage, that religious bondage, it controls your spirit. Somebody didn't hear me. You have all types of hidden witchcraft. You have food, you have drinks, you have clothing, you have music, you have TV, all that type of stuff, right? You can eat a very healthy diet. You can be plant-based. You can not be plant-based and still be healthy. We can talk about that. But you can do all of that stuff and be stuck spiritually because you're yoked with a religion. So much so that you can't hear the Most High. The Most High wants his people free. He wants you free from disease. He wants you free spiritually. He wants you free mentally. He wants you free physically. So you can worship him in spirit and in truth. There are too many people here on YouTube trying to keep people in bondage with religion. Be free. There is one creator. Believe in him. Don't believe me, believe in him. If anybody says something to you about him, then you need to take that back to him, and he's going to tell you if it's true or not. Because he is truth. The truth sets you free. There are a lot of people that's been bound into religion for so long, and they're wondering why they haven't had any breakthroughs. Become free tonight. Desire the Most High with all your heart, with all your soul, with everything in you. And I promise you, your life is going to change. Ayana said, that's deep. I wish I was live with you. Pack light. Yes. Pack light. Ooh, ooh. But you know, we can't even really be talking about Erica because she a witch. We don't even want to go there. Excuse me. And it's funny too because you can see the transition of when something occurred. You and I were just talking about this. That's interesting. You can see sometimes you can listen to these artists and you can hear and feel that they were in the know of the truth. And then if you keep following them at some point in time, they change. The music changes. The feeling changes. That's why you have to have a relationship with the Most High, right? And so, Ayana, if you want to come over real quick before we close it out and say something, you're more than welcome to. But I just want to encourage you all that, yes, there is a lot of hidden witchcraft out there. The Most High knows this. The Most High makes provision for us at the same time, right? So that means that he's going to protect us if we don't know. But once you know the truth, you better start acting like you know the truth. Because to know the truth and not to do the truth or follow it, to know the way and not follow it, is a sin. And we are all going to be judged based on what we knew to be right and what we did. And so, unfortunately, now that you've watched this, you know the truth. So now I want to encourage you to look up everything that I've said. I want you to do your own research. And I've decided that I'm not going to go in depth with a lot of these things because you guys need to do your own research so you can have an understanding for yourself. Take everything back to the Most High about what I said and let Him tell you. Let Him teach you. And we definitely will be back for a part 2. So if anybody is just tuning in, I'm going to quickly recap over the hidden witchcraft and then I'm going to be out. We said that the hidden witchcraft comes in the form of food, drinks, clothing, TV, music. We said that it comes in the form of perfume, supplements. I'm looking at my list, y'all, because I don't remember. I think that was everything. And then the last thing was religion. So I think we dropped about 8 things tonight on hidden witchcraft. And we are definitely going to have a part 2. We're going to bring up some more things. And we're just going to just keep building. Because we all want to be written in the book of life. We all want to get to judgment day and hear job well done. We all want to be in the kingdom of the Most High. And so if anybody doesn't have anything to say, if there are no questions, if a Koti Ayana is not going to come through, then we will conclude. Let me give y'all a few minutes. Oh, Koti is coming over. 1 second.
Hi, guys.
So Koti came over. So Koti came over. Trying to make it work. Okay. Koti came over, and she gonna bust it up with us real quick.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to say, you said something that I think is really important and it struck a chord within me. I don't remember what you said verbatim, but you said pretty much religion is the biggest witchcraft. And what I want people to understand is the fact that it's the biggest witchcraft or form of witchcraft because it binds you spiritually. And it's like people have to understand that you don't need someone to govern you or be that filter or be that middleman between you and the Most High. That's not necessary. That's not needed. You literally have to pack light. If you can't hear what the Most High is saying to you, or you don't have that relationship, or you don't build that relationship, you're gonna be lost in the sauce. And it's like you have to develop a relationship with the Most High. You don't have to do no ritual. You ain't gotta spin around 3 times before you talk to him. You gotta light no candles. You just literally, Abaya, I'm open, or whatever and during this time, call him. And as your relationship grow, you'll begin to understand and hear him, and he'll be able to tell you what he wants, or what you should do, and things of that nature. But come as a child is
Yes.
what the scriptures say. Come as a child. and he understands where you're at, and he'll meet you where you're at.
Yes.
So that's what I wanted to say.
Told I. We definitely appreciate that. You definitely hit the nail on the head. Especially down to the light and the candles, and things of that nature, because that's witchcraft.
Absolutely.
That's what we talking about, hidden witchcraft.
Absolutely.
And people do that thinking that they're going to connect to the Most High, and that's not it.
I almost feel really saddened because people are bamboozled and they don't realize how bamboozled they have been generations upon generations. And it's like, oh, well, this is what I've been taught. And it's like, it's okay. Sometimes you clinch on the things that you don't need because you feel like you need it. And it's like, this is the YouTube where we let you know it's okay to let go and lean on the Most High, hear His voice, and get to know Him, because that's going to be your direction. That's going to be your guidance. That's going to be your truth. That's, you go directly to the source. You don't need an extension cord to hook up to the source. You can go directly to Him.
Yes, that's true. That is true. And we are definitely trying to make it to the promised land with no baggage.
No baggage.
No baggage.
That's the ultimate goal right there.
No bondage.
Yes.
And just free.
Yes.
Really free, and really, like I said, seeking to worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. And it definitely starts within you. Mm-hmm. You have to want the truth. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are caught up in the bondage of religion because they haven't desired the truth. Mm-hmm. They've desired the word of the pastor or the preacher or the imam more than they have desired the word of the Most High. Mm-hmm. So you have made that person a god. Now you operate not only in witchcraft, but idolatry.
Double fold.
Yeah, once you open the door to one, they all come in. So you got to walk that straight and narrow. And that's what people don't understand. They don't realize that. Oh, girl, I got to hurry up and even if you're not running to the church, oh, girl, I got to hurry up and turn on T.D. Jakes because I can't miss it. Why can't you miss it?
Do you not think, or do you not believe that you can't learn this information on your own? Do you not feel that you're not capable of getting a connection with the Most High?
I don't think they are. I really don't. And I think in most religions, especially the Abrahamic traditions, being Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they all have this idea of this hierarchy. This hierarchy, and it's damaging to the people, right? And it's like the people can't function if they're not in this type of hierarchy system. It's almost like these places have mini governments.
No. That's absolutely, that's it.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely right.
It's kind of scary when you think about it. And I'm sure, people watching, they have had grandparents caught up in, whatever religion that is, day in and day out. And our people have been raped by religion.
Yeah, because not only does it doesn't really, what religion does is it doesn't just operate in one particular area. It consumes your whole life and your whole lifestyle. And it's like, yes, you bound, no matter whatever it is that you do, you're completely bound.
Yes. And that spiritual part as well. The Most High only wants us to be in relationship and in the state of repentance. Mm-hmm. You are going to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. You just have to repent, which means turn from your wicked way. That's it. That's all He's ever wanted. And when you read the scriptures, you see this reflected. He gave Sodom and Gomorrah a chance to repent. It says it's not His will that any man should perish. There's even a scripture, if I can find it, I'll put it in the description. But there's even, or or no, you guys look it up. You find it. There's a scripture that says, I don't take delight in the death of any man.
Yeah.
So you have to understand who you're serving. You're not like they try to make the Most High seem very far away. They try to make him seem very vengeful, and like you can't turn around from something that you've done wrong, and you can, and it's a poor depiction of the Most High. If you want an accurate depiction, which this is like not complete, but this is kind of online with the Most High, they're like your parents, right? I'm going to love my son regardless. I'm going to love him. I'm not going to let him go so far where I lose him, and that being equated to us not inheriting the kingdom. So some people will die prematurely if they're going to keep going down a road where they're going to end up in the eternal fire. But I'm not going to let my son go to a point where there's no return. But if my son goes away and he decides, you know what, Mom, I messed up. Can you forgive me? You know what? I can. Because you realize that you messed up. And I'm not saying with your mouth, but really in your heart. Because you can say with your mouth and not really be in a repentant state. So I know this might be heavy for some people, because I know a lot of people who are in religion watch this. But like I said, take it before the Most High and let him reveal to you what it is. I'm not getting hung up on a lot of technicalities. I know a lot of channels, they want to talk about, the days of the Shabbat. What day is the Shabbat? They want to get caught up on the feast days. What days do the feast days fall on? They want to get caught up on all of these basically situations that will be revealed to us in time. Like, obviously, the scriptures, if you read them and study them, it says that Mashiach's going to have to teach us these things.
So we probably ain't gonna get it yet, no way.
Yeah, we're gonna come close, but we're not gonna probably get the whole revelation.
You gotta build a foundation.
Yeah.
If your foundation not sturdy, then
absolutely,
the house will fall.
Absolutely. You have to have the foundation, and the foundation starts with the inward, not the out. You have to want truth inside. You have to want to do what's right inside. We understand that we might not know the real name of the Most High. We understand that we might not have the feast days right. We understand all of that. But we do the very best that we can do with the information that we have. And we keep pressing towards that every single day. When you know better, you do better. And I can't speak for Koti Ayana, but I know that when I made up my mind that I was going to serve the Most High and the Most High alone, my life changed. The amount of revelation, the amount of peace, the amount of security that I felt, I've never felt in my life. And I don't know the last time I've been in a church.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So yeah. You have anything else? All right, so thank you guys for joining in. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you and give you peace. May He be gracious to you. All praises to the Most High forever and ever.
Hallelujah.
Bye.